Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Gallic Gun Toys. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, a little bit off the beaten path. We are going to be doing a banpresto wall cleaning video. So I'm going to go through the entire wall. We're going to take off every single figure. We are going to clean it. We are going to clean the shelf after it's clear. And we are going to place everything back on there. I am going to resort it a little bit, I'm thinking. So some of the things are going to change from what they currently are. But you guys are going to see a good chunk of that. I'm going to do this, I'm going to film this in a couple little different parts. And then I'll just link all those together when I'm done. So you guys will see pretty much raw and unedited just me going through it, but I will do it in just different sections of the cleaning and the resort, just so I'm not boring you guys too much with babbling on about everything. But yeah, so let's just jump into it and what we will be using. So we will be using our trusty cleaning tools, my old duster that's quite covered in dust and hair and stuff, and probably needs to be cleaned before we start this. Okay, and then we've got this little brush, little cleaning brush my mum gave me. She also gave me a couple like wire brushes and stuff with it, but that one is going to be really good for some hard to reach spots. This is really good for some hard to reach spots as well. This is just a small makeup brush that Jess got me. That's really handy for what we are doing today. And probably the most important one and the most used one I have is just like a larger makeup brush. So you guys can pick these up from pretty much anywhere. I think, yeah, like a chemist, supermarket, retail store, and they are just some of the best things you can get. If you've got a bigger duster, I use mainly the bigger duster for the larger spots, like if there's like a big section that I can get of the figure with that, great, but usually that doesn't really happen. This I mainly use for the bases, and I will use to dust the shelves before I wipe them down. And then, yeah, so I'll go over the figures with these after I've given them a quick dust with the larger duster. And then once the shelf is clear, I'm going to go over every shelf with a Dettol wipe and then just give it a quick dry with the paper towel, just so everything's nice and clean. It all smells nice, not that it doesn't anyway. But yeah, so I think we're looking good. We do have a bit of dust to get through because I have been kind of holding off on doing this video for quite some time, so yeah, everything is quite dusty and in need of a serious dust. Like this trunks, for example, I'm looking at this, and here you can see just the dust line just sitting on that. So that one's pretty dusty, so that is definitely gonna need a good clean. But so yeah, so we're gonna jump into it shortly, guys. I'm gonna try and organize some of these as best I can, just so I can re-display them a bit more organized. So we'll see how we go, and yeah, let's just jump into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm thinking I'm gonna take down, let me just grab a drink quickly. And for anyone wondering, anything I'm ever drinking on screen is always water. I don't drink anything else, pretty much live on water, and that is probably the only way I stay as healthy as I have been. I just don't drink shit. I do eat a lot of shit, but I don't drink any shit. I try and stay away from alcohol most of the time, unless it's a special occasion. But yeah, it's water for me. Even when I'm just chilling doing something like this. but mainly for the throat, just because I do find I kind of lose my voice a bit when I'm talking a bit doing these videos. So we're going to start off with all the gashapon figures, and take off every gashapon figure, give it a good clean. So give it an initial clean, pop it down, and another initial clean. Alright, so I'll go over these briefly with the large brush, and just give that a quick going over. Okay, now I think that's pretty good, and then we'll just give it a quick fine one, just in the little recesses and cracks, just so it doesn't get like a build-up, because that's the worst thing, is when you're going to clean something later on and you've been lazy with some portions of the cleaning. That can really come back to bite you in the ass if you haven't, you know, stuff like this halo around his head. I probably wasn't the most thorough the last time I cleaned this Grandpa Gohan. So cool little Grandpa Gohan. You guys can see there. Oh, come on. Grandpa Gohan. Really, really great figure. Little figure, I love that. This little Gashapon Goku fighting Commander Black. You guys would have seen all these in my collection video. Any of the collection videos I've done, the Dragon Ball collection videos, I usually make a point of going through all of this sort of stuff. So if you're curious and want to get a closer look, the setup is still pretty much the same from the last collection video I did. My last Dragon Ball collection video, 2018, I think it was. So yeah, check that out, guys, because the layout is still the same, so you can check out some of the figures that we're going over today. Okay, so yeah, I think we're just going to start at one spot and just keep moving along. So this one and the Commander Black and Goku I got in Japan when Jess and I were there at the end of 2017. Really, really great pieces. This one I bought mainly because it was cheap, not because I thought it was overly fantastic. It is kind of cool, but it's not anything that, you know, particularly blows me away. But it is really, really cool. I do like that the Kami's all translucent. Now this one, I do remember being a bit sticky when I got it. So this one was a bit sticky. It's got some residue on it. So that one I'm probably going to have to give a bit of better clean, maybe with the Dettol wipes. We might see how this other brush goes that Mum gave us. So it seems... oh yeah, that seems to do the trick. So we're just going to use this one. Okay, that seems to be doing the job that we need it to do, which is really, really helpful. Okay, so this is definitely going to be one of my go-to brushes. I haven't ever used this one before. It's just been sitting in my desk, and I actually did like a clean out of my desk today. So this is a really good opportunity to test that. So we got most of the hair and stuff off here, guys. Just, my battery's getting a bit low, so if you see me squinting at the camera all suspiciously, it's just because I want to just round off this section of the video before the camera dies, so it just doesn't die abruptly on me. Okay, so there we go. That looks really, really good. Finally all cleaned up. Looks great. So Kami, being absorbed by Piccolo at the end of the Android saga, the beginning of the Cell saga. So that's really cool. Okay guys, so I'm going to leave you for now. I will catch you in the next part, which will be playing straight after this. But yeah, I'm going to get into it, and I will touch back with you guys when we're a little bit further along with the cleaning. Okay, we're back. I've done the first 4 shelves of Gashapon figures, so I'll bring those in quickly for you guys to have a bit of a look at. Just bear with me guys, just gotta move the camera down here while it's still on the tripod, so it's a little bit difficult. So as you can see, there's just some really great pieces there guys. Just give me 2 seconds, I'm just in a bit of a tight spot here guys. So yeah, as you can see, just some really great stuff down here. Just some of my absolute favorites. So it was really great going through all of these, giving them a clean up. Let's have a bit of a zoom in so you guys can get a better look at some of them. Okay, yeah, looking great. Alright, so I will move along to the next part, guys. Okay, guys, so the thing I'm realizing more and more now that I'm actually looking at it is these little Mega House capsule figures really just perfect what's going on here. Like, this all looks great, and I was really happy with it before I added all those. But once I added those, it added so much more depth, so much more color, so much more action. So I really have decided that is going to be pretty much how this display is always going to be, with the Gashapon mixed in. I'm even thinking I might mix in the rest of my Gashapon, but at the moment I'm going to go with just the Mega House dioramas, just because they are just so amazing. Some of my absolute favorite pieces, like these two here. They're really some of my favorites, if the camera will focus. Yeah, really great pieces. Same with like these two. Really great stuff. Yeah. So anyway guys, we'll move on, because now we're getting to the bulk of it. So now that we've done that, and that's all, I might just move some of those along a little bit so we've got some more space. Okay, so I think we'll start with the top shelf with this Gogeta here, and just give him a quick dust. Alright. Now, it's been a while since all of these have been touched by the duster, and I'm looking forward to honestly reorganizing some of it. So what I'm thinking is I've got 2 large shelves here and 2 shorter shelves here. So what I'm actually thinking is maybe this will be a shorter shelf, and then we'll have a bigger shelf, and then this will be so I'm going to mix it up, have like a large, have a higher shelf, shorter shelf, higher shelf, shorter shelf. So we'll see how that goes. I'm also going to mix up the bottom, so I'll just quickly move the camera down for you guys so you can sort of see what else is going to be changed up around here. So that's probably not the best angle. So yeah, there's still a bit that's got to be stripped from here and moved. But yeah, so we've got quite a task in front of us. So this will probably be a bit of a long video. So I do apologise for that, guys. But I am going to try and keep it as short as possible. So as you'll notice, I do have a few of these stacked, quite a few of these stacked on top of one another. That allows me a lot more space to display a lot of these figures, because the bases do take up a lot of room. So it just gives you that much more display space, and that's just something really helpful to think about when you are displaying a heap of these banpresto statues. It just works so much better, and some of them have really have a nice size base. They're all a lot sturdier on their bases, so you can get away with, as you can see, pretty much everyone here, and on this shelf here, the bottom two shelves, sorry, are all stacked on top of one another. So it gives me a lot more freedom to sort of display more onto a shelf and more of what I want. Okay, so this Vegito Blue, I'm pretty sure, did I get this one in Japan? Yeah, I think I got this one in Japan, Jess and I can't quite remember. It's been a while. I'll have to look at my images, or my pictures. I'm pretty sure I did though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got most. I think I got a good chunk of this line from Japan. I know when we. Whoa! Oh, damn. Okay, and that's why when you stack your figures, guys, be very careful when you move one to make sure that it's not stacked on top of another one like I just did like a fucking idiot. Okay, so apologies for that, guys. So the Vegeta here, a little story behind this one. This Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta was still in the crane machines in Tokyo when we arrived in November 2017. So I did managed to win this one the night we got there, a couple hours after getting off the plane. Everything else was shut, but there was 2 arcades still open, and one of the arcades we visited had this particular figure, so I was really happy to pick that one up and get that as my first pickup when we were there, because the first time John and I went to Japan, that was the first figure pretty much that I picked up. I won from a crane machine over there, so I wanted to kind of keep in the theme of getting a Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta as my first purchase when I get to Japan. And I'm even going to try and do that when Jess and I go, hopefully later this year. That's the plan. And then I will be taking my computer, well, a new computer, because I'll be upgraded by then. So I'm going to upgrade to a new laptop, because at the moment I'm using my grandmother's much newer laptop, just to run the editing program. If you guys follow the channel, you know there's not a great deal of editing that goes into my videos. So I'm trying to learn as much as I can with that editing program. So we're getting there slowly. The most recent upload that you guys would have seen, sorry, not the most recent, the most recent upload, the last upload I did was the Dragon Ball SH Figure Arts collection. But the one before that was a toy hunt with my friend John. And that was sort of like a trial run for the editing program to see how I could work it. It's just early days now. I'm not super well versed with editing programs or computers in general. I've been using computers since I was a kid, but I don't use computers a lot, so there are a lot of things that are relatively foreign to me. So we are sort of making progress with that, so do stay tuned to the channel to see definitely a higher quality of editing in the future, guys. So it all gets easier the more you do it, so practice makes perfect, so just going to keep trying with it. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm just going to take, every time you guys see me step away from the camera, I will be, that will be like one little bit, and I'll link it all together to make one complete video for all of this cleaning. So far we're doing pretty good. We've got, you know, a good little section cleaned out. We've got probably 60% of the gashapon or more dusted and cleaned. Damn, so many of these I got in Japan. I really wish I was doing YouTube when Jess and I went there, because we spent so much money buying a lot of Sailor Moon stuff for her, and all of this banpresto, and some Ichiban Fuji and Mega House stuff for myself. And it would have just made for some really great toy hunting videos and some haul videos, because yeah, we were going really crazy with the amount of stuff we were getting. So this one I'm not a really huge fan of. This was one, there were a lot of these banpresto statues that I was getting while we were in Japan, just because they were cheap, like $10, you know, and for figures that are costing like 30 to 40, maybe even $50 or more to get here in Australia, and I can buy them brand new in Japan, like unopened. You can't really beat that. So I did buy some figures I wouldn't have bothered buying if they were here in Australia, but they fill the shelf up nicely, and that always leaves me room with some I can move on, because I'm sure after Jess and I do our next trip to Japan, there's going to be quite a lot more stuff going onto this shelf. So when that happens, I probably am going to have to take some stuff out that I just, maybe stuff like this, because this Goku here is literally just the same figure, just with a different head sculpt and a different paint job. So maybe, you know, stuff like that, or the like the extra Vegito, or the Gogeta Super Saiyan 4, stuff like that. I don't know yet. We'll just see how it plays out and see what I actually get when we are in Japan, because things have changed a lot with me. Like, I've become a lot more reserved about what I'll buy, so there will be stuff that I just won't be bothering with while we're in Japan on this next trip. But there is a lot of stuff I will be keeping an eye out for, because it's on a list in the back of my head of something I want to buy. That's awesome. Super Saiyan Gohan from the future. Love that figure. And this is why I want to do a bit of a resort too, guys. Like, you know, there's like some figures here I don't really see. They don't, you know, they're kind of hidden away by other figures. So we're just gonna, I feel it's gonna be a really good cleansing to go through all of this and give it a resort, and come up with a new sort of beat for this shelf. And honestly, every time I resort it, I am probably a lot more happy with it than I was before I did the resort. So it's always good to take everything off, give it a clean, and just resort everything. You know, it's for me, I find it real de-stress personally, just cleaning all my figures, resorting my figures, stripping the details out, cleaning all the glass, and then re-displaying all my figures. It's something I've always enjoyed doing, but I personally find, for me, cleaning and organising and sorting that really helps center me. But that's just something I've noticed about myself personally. Okay, so I think we are getting to the point where I might have to move on to the next portion of this video, guys, because this section's been running for like 13 minutes, but we've just about stripped one shelf. God, I honestly forget like how much I can get onto one of these shelves. But one other thing that I love about doing this is because you have to take off every figure individually and clean it, it lets you appreciate it, it lets you give a good look at it and hold it in your hand and just really remember why you bought it in the first place, and the feeling that it gave you. And the fact that I've got the lighting set up for the video, it makes it even better because it really shows off the amazing colour of these figures. So we've got Vegito. He looks pretty clean. Just making sure I got all of him. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to move along with this, guys. Before I do, I might just grab two of my favourites. Okay, so these guys are awesome. I reviewed these on the channel. For anyone interested, check that out. That's really good. It's probably a few months old now. But anyway, guys, I'm going to move this along. Hey guys, so I've cleared one whole top shelf, and now that I can see with the lights, I can see some dust that I missed on the top shelf here. Alright, so I've gone over, I've cleaned all these, they're all spotless. Looks quite good, I'm very happy with it. As you can see, we've got an entire table here just covered with the top two shelves. Okay, so we're slowly getting there. It's going to take a little bit more work. I think I'm going to have to break this video up into a few different parts, at least two. So at the moment, what I'm thinking is, because we've run out of space a bit, what we're going to do is I'm going to do the first top shelf, and like I said, I wanted to shorten a shelf. So once we've done the top shelf, it'll give us room to strip this shelf, and we can start putting some of these smaller figures from one of these shelves, perhaps do a mixture of these two and put them up here. Okay, so I'm thinking with the top layer of figures, we're going to go with these, I can't remember the line that these ones came in, but these are really, really solid figures. Yeah, they go pretty well up there. So I'm going to have a bit of a play around. Probably put them very similar to how I had them before. The Rose Goku Black can go in the back a bit because I have a lot of Rose Black Gokus, so Goku Blacks, so we should be alright. But I am going to stick with a similar theme here to what I had before, just for some of these, just because they did work how I had them before. So let's see how we go. Okay, that's looking promising. Okay, we're doing alright. So let's go with the rest of the ones for this display. Okay, now Super Saiyan Trunks. We'll put Trunks up this end. Move him down there. I'm thinking Goku can go here, move Vegeta here, and Vegeta here. Okay, so we're going to do some stacking here so we can fit all these guys in. And I'm thinking, even though it's going to look a bit funny with Vegeta being shorter, we're going to put Goku there. And then Goku Black's the last one from that line. So now I'm thinking Goku Black with normal Trunks. Actually, I might swap out normal Trunks for the Super Saiyan Trunks, just because I've got some other Super Saiyan Trunkses on display already, so probably won't hurt him to go to the back a bit. And then, yeah. Alright, so we're really getting there. That's that whole line sort of in line the way I wanted it. Now I'm thinking for the rest of the shelf, I might make it my Dragon Ball Heroes shelf. I'm just going to check to see if this Piccolo... Yeah, okay, so he's not going to fit in that shelf like I was hoping. So these guys, I was really hoping, because these are some of my favourites, I was going to have these kind of as the centerpiece on the right in the middle there. But these guys, because of the size, they're going to have to go up a bit higher. So I should be able to make this work. I think I'm just going to need another figure to sort of get in there with it. Alright, so maybe we might try this Ultra Instinct Goku. See how he goes. Okay, so he looks pretty good in there. Now, okay, that line is not really going to work. Okay, so we're going to have to find a different figure to go with for this. And I'm thinking maybe this manga cover Goku. Probably make room for him. We're just going to have to get something... How can I make this work? Okay, maybe these guys. Maybe they can be the solution to my problem. Because these guys all do look good on the shelf together. So does this give us what we want? Enough space without hiding Piccolo? I don't know. This is kind of a real pain in the arse. Okay. Maybe if I put this back further a little bit. Okay, I think that is the best I can get it to work. I would like Goku on the other side, perhaps, but I don't know if that's really going to work as well. No, it's not. Okay, so we're just going to have Goku there, and that works pretty well. So he's quite a lot more visible that way. And I can always put a smaller figure sort of up here with Gohan and Vegeta. Okay, sweet. So now that gives me room for my Dragon Ball Heroes figures, Dragon Ball Super Heroes, or Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Yeah, I think that's right, Dragon Ball Super Heroes. Okay, so we'll put Vegeta from Heroes up there. And we've got Goku here, so we'll put him in the back. And let's see, we've got Goku, Vegeta, the Masked Saiyan. Who else do we have from Heroes? That's it, isn't it? Yep. Okay, so the Marseillan Bardock is one of my more favourite ones. So I'm thinking maybe he can go right there. Yeah, maybe right there. And then this Bunny Bomber I've got, since it is Dragon Ball and in keeping with the theme, thinking maybe she can go there. She fills that gap nicely. Or maybe I could even put her to the back here, behind Gohan, if that will. No, that's not going to work. Okay. Tried it, didn't work. Moving on. Okay. Alright. So we've got Bulma there. Let's get Zeno Goku in the back there. And then we'll get Vegito and the Marseillan up here. So they should fit quite well together. I just have to turn Goku on an angle to make room on the base. So there we go. That's really cool, and that's exactly sort of what I was chasing, the look I was wanting. So yeah, that I think works a little bit better, and yeah, actually perfectly, because this Oracle fish is a real pain in the ass to sort of get find a good spot for, because it doesn't have a base or anything. So I might just and squeeze the Oracle fish in back here. Maybe behind Gohan, if that will work. No, that's not going to work, so he'll just have to rest on Piccolo. But that's alright, I can see him quite clearly through the shelf, and it makes a little bit more, fills a little bit more of that gap, so there's less black that we're seeing. Okay, now where did I put my water? Sorry guys, I'm dying a little bit here. Okay, I just wanted to do at least one shelf before we wrap up the first part of this, so you guys can at least see where we're going and how it's coming along. Okay, so we've got Vegito, Goku and Vegeta all together from Xenoverse, from Super Dragon Ball Heroes, so that's good. And then we've got this little fella. I'm thinking because of the colours on this guy, he might really just look so much better over here. Yeah, and he's gonna fit perfectly there, because that's the beauty of stacking your stands, is you can stack four together like I have there with those ones, so that's fantastic. So really happy with that. Still got to put my gashapons on, but I will save that until I've got all the gashapons on the table and they're all cleaned, and then I will look at the shelf as a whole and decide where it's going and what the theme's going to be. So I'm going to wrap this up, guys, because this has gotten a little bit long. I'm guessing over 40 minutes. I've broken this up a little bit, so it's hard to keep track, but that's the main reason I'm going to stop here, and we'll continue this in the next video. So I will catch you later, guys, and yeah, bye for now.